Hello, YouTube. Deranged Clown here with the amazing clown hair. Um, I just want to start out by apologizing for the lighting in the Trump executive order videos. Wink, wink. I do have those videos. It's going to be a series. I'm not self-promoting, by the way. Well, maybe I am. And although these little dots in my eyes is just from the lighting, so I don't know. I guess that's one thing I get to work on is lighting. But anyways, so um, I just want to do a quick little video and it's about character and why character matters and why demographics mean absolutely nothing. And by demographics, I mean age, race, religion, religious, irreligious, nationality, accent. None of that matters. It's all irrelevant. It's just something that keeps a bureaucrat in work in some office. That's all demographics are. It's character that matters. It's character that defines a person. And I'm going to build off of something that Dr. Martin Luther King said, where he said to judge people based solely on the content of their character. So as you hear this true account that I'm about to tell you, I would ask you if you would just, oblige me and just try to picture in your head what kind of person would do this. Okay, just try to picture in your head the person, all right? So this involves the workplace. I'm not going to name names, businesses, locations, services. This is a true story. So I'm working at place X, and my supervisor comes back, and they said, "Hey, do you want to go on break?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I go up, clock out, and then I go to obtain the use of services using a deal that I get because, it's just a deal you have if you are employed there. And so I'm doing that, and there was just nothing. There was no effort to serve me. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm on break, And finally, that they got around to providing the service that I requested. And, I was just like, well, this is all well and good, but I'm going to have to, I've been waiting so long for this. I don't know. And they said, well, I need to talk to you. I'm on break when they said this. And it was a supervisor that said it. And I just said, well, I'm on break, so you can't talk to me because I'm on break. And they said, I need to talk to you. By the way, this person was already mad at me, but that's okay. They're always mad about something, so go figure. Anyways, so this person was being insistent, and I said, look, if I stay here, I'm probably going to say rude things, and I don't want to. So since I'm on break, I'm going to go outside, collect my thoughts, and I will be back. Something along those lines. I don't think I said exactly, I'll be back. I may or may not have. I forget, but I made it very clear that I was just going to go, take a little bit of time, collect my thoughts, and then talk to him. Which is what professionalism is about. The professionalism courses, that's what they say you should do in circumstances like that. Anyways, so I go out, collect my thoughts, come back in, and I checked to see how much time I had left on my break, out of habit. And that's the key to it, out of habit. And I saw I was clocked back in. Someone had clocked me out of my break and clocked me in. And it was not me. This is a critical point, and I'll get to that here in a second. Anyways, so this person then proceeded to try to write me up, and I don't know what the write up was because it was not, because it didn't go through. I'll leave it at that. But this person tried to write me up, and I'm like, wait a minute. If you're on break, you have the right to leave. Okay, especially at this place, as long you can leave the premises when you're on break, and as long as you're back on time, then you're good. Some businesses aren't like that, but this particular one is just, yeah, just as long as you're back in time, then it's good. Anyways, I had that right to leave. But if I was clocked in, then that would be grounds for a write-up. Oh, did I mention I was mysteriously clocked back in and clocked out of my break without my consent? So the matter was resolved, and I mentioned, and I was just saying, well, this and this, and I mentioned that, I found it curious that suddenly I was no longer on break when I was on break, and suddenly the person who wanted to write me up, the supervisor, could not tear that write up faster. I mean, they tore that up with gusto, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking, you sat there, wrote that up. I'm sure you wanted to have me held to that. And suddenly you're tearing that up with great gusto. What happened? What changed? Now, I'm going to let you decide what you think about that. But you remember how before I started telling this story that I was asking you to picture the person who would do that? If you thought it was someone who had a tattoo across their forehead, F the world, and, leather jacket with the metal spikes that are razor sharp, and the leather bracelet with the razor sharp spikes, and on the back of their jacket it says, "Burn world, burn." It wasn't. This was someone who is religious, who is married, who has a family, and who, for all intents and purposes, on the outside, looks like the most wonderful, kind-hearted, sensitive person you could ever hope to meet. And, they're the kind of person that if they were to go up to you on the street and say, "That crippled kitten bullied me," you would say, "Oh, you bad kitten." That's the person who did it. And what it boils down to is this: character is having a set of standards in your mind, is having that character fortitude, I guess that's the right word, to say, I could do this, but I won't. It's within my power, but I'm not going to. And it's expressed in many ways. My particular ways of expressing it is, I could, but that's not good cricket, or that's not proper, that's not sporting. I like British sayings and stuff. Those of you who know me will say, yeah, he likes that British stuff, because I think English stuff is really cool, by the way. But there's multiple ways of saying it, but, what matters is a thought process is, there's a line, there's a boundary, I will never cross it. As emotionally gratifying as it would be to cross it, I won't. And I'll tell you, there's been times where I've stood at that line and I've been thinking, oh, it'd be so gratifying to just cross that line and do that. Boy, why? Oh. But then I've had to think to myself, no, stop. That's not proper. That's not sporting. Don't do it. That's the kind of person that I am. And that's the kind of person that I look to associate with. Someone who has that thought process, that schema in their mind. And if they do not have that schema, I want nothing to do with them. I don't care if it's the most friendly, church-going, blah, blah, blah person, or if it's just the most degenerate, angry punk who's, waving a flamethrower around trying to burn the trees in the park because they hate the world. I don't care. Well, actually, the last example would put them in jail, but I think you get the point. It's the character. It's what people do when they're at that moment where they say, I could do it, and I'd feel really good if I did it, but should I? And if they have the ability to say, no, that's not right, therefore I will not do it, then that's someone I want to associate with. If their thought process is, well, I'm just going to cross the line here and I'm going to ignore the boundary. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm just being a little bit unorthodox. It's okay. That's someone I want nothing to do with. If I have to associate with them, it will be on a purely official level. And if I have any say in the matter, I want nothing to do with them. So, anyways, just a thought. Please feel free to put your thoughts and comments in the comment section of this video. And I've already wasted 12 minutes of your life, so I will end this video.